We have a lot to discuss today, and today is my birthday, so happy birthday, me. Number one. Number two, we're going to be going over a report. Miles Sanders looks like the Panthers are going to cut him, and it's kind of been trending a little bit that Miles Sanders might be coming back to the Eagles or whatever's going on. And I want to go through that situation with the running backs. I think that's really important, and it looks like the Kelly Green uniforms have been announced for 2 games, which is great. And obviously, big question mark for the third outfit, which is the black on black, which I want to get into that as well. So let's get straight into it all.
You better do. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. I hope everyone's enjoying themselves. So a lot to talk about regarding the Philadelphia Eagles, as usual. Still waiting on training camp. So you're gonna get certain news that we normally hear about when it comes to the Eagles and specific players that are not here anymore that could make their return. Now, there was some reports of Miles Sanders that the Panthers are going to kind of cut their losses and kind of get rid of him to kind of say, hey, we gave Miles Sanders a bad contract, and to this point Miles Sanders is literally like the third team running back. Okay, now I want to get into this situation because we know like 95% of this playbook is brand new offensively for this team. Okay. Jalen Hurts and Kellen Moore have a really tight relationship right now. Kellen Moore seems to have all the control, and everybody's talking about Nick Sirianni wanting Miles Sanders back. Okay. It's not up to Nick Sirianni. Okay. Miles, unfortunately, fortunately, like I'm saying, Kellen Moore has all the control now. Nick Sirianni's on a short leash right now. And I have to get into just why would anyone be interested in bringing him back? Really, out of the 4 years he was here, how many years was he actually healthy? How many years did he have issues with fumbling and drops and just, always dancing way too much and always, Miles Sanders wasn't a home run hitter type running back. And there might be people that disagree with me, but I thought he was talented. I think he was above average talented when he can be. But he's, like I said, been injured too much, and just felt like the Eagles could have afforded him. It's not like after the 22 season, after that Super Bowl, they could have afforded him, no doubt. I mean, the contract wasn't that much. Obviously, the Eagles have kind of changed their ways in the running back position, and you get Miles Sanders' teammate from Penn State, Saquon Barkley, which is kind of crazy. And I guess people are starting to connect. Oh, well, Saquon Barkley will want, share some snaps with Miles Sanders, but no, man, like it's not going to happen. How many running backs have left Philadelphia besides like LaShawn McCoy? Okay. How many running backs have left Philadelphia recently and have really done better somewhere else or as good? Miles Sanders goes to the Panthers and just is an injury-prone mess. And we know the Panthers haven't had a built offense. Their offensive line is not built the right way. They don't have a great roster. I think when you sign a running back in free agency, like you got to have your offensive line set, and they just did not. And that's head coaches are going back and forth, being switched around. The GM has no idea what he's doing over there. A lot of problems. Um, After the 22 Super Bowl, Miles Sanders, after he signed with the Panthers, complained to the media that the Eagles never gave him an opportunity, that he should have had more of an opportunity in that Super Bowl. Okay, that Super Bowl in 22 was a passing attack on both sides. Jalen Hurts had one of his best games of the season. Was that Super Bowl? It was absolutely amazing. What were the two biggest weaknesses, okay, on that offense going into that Super Bowl, after that Super Bowl? Okay, well, it was really the running backs, because I think all the running backs jointed together, I think they only had like 40-something carries. I mean, or maybe lower than that. It wasn't much. And wide receiver 3 with Quez Watkins was a huge weakness. Couldn't rely on him for anything. Okay, what did when Wendell Small went to Washington, did he do anything? No. When Jordan Howard went to Miami, did he do anything? Not really. Josh Adams, when he went to, did he do anything? You know what I mean? Like, it's just this. Shout out to Jeff Stoutland for this offensive line and how they produce guys. And I know there's fans in free agency. Every time the Eagles don't sign a free agent offensive lineman or something like that, I know this fan, oh, we should have signed a right guard in free agency. I'm like, dude, like if we don't have to sign anybody in free agency, that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. If you don't have to go out and spend money on an offensive lineman, it's the best thing possible. It means that we're doing something right, that we're actually producing guys, and we're putting these guys in the right direction. And the Eagles have never been better. Jeff Stoutland is literally the only remaining coach from the Chip Kelly days. I mean, he's the only coach that remains on this coaching staff right now that's probably getting paid a lot of money. Okay, Miles Sanders to me was just a product, a good solid player, but just a product like everybody else. I think he's had more skill than a lot of running backs that were here, but now getting Saquon Barkley and having Will Shipley, okay, even the guy from the undrafted free agent from Georgia, okay, like they have backs now. Kenny G, Kenny G's solidified himself as a really good rotational guy that needs to be treated like he's less than what he is, because I feel like they treat him like a dual threat, which I didn't get that last year. And, I think Jordan Howard should have had more opportunity when he was here. Miles Sanders has had plenty of opportunity, and sometimes he has coughed it up for us. A lot of times, between his drops, between his fumbles, and obviously not staying healthy. And obviously going to the Panthers, he did not stay healthy at all, and now is the third team running back, if I didn't mention that before in the beginning of the video. So Eagle fans that just want him back. Oh, Saquon and Miles Sanders together, blah, blah, blah. Saquon would want him back, team up with him for the first time. I mean, it's just, I want to move on. This whole season, what's driving us this offseason to the regular season is a youth movement. We're trying to get rid of dead weight. You don't want to get rid of veterans that could help out, but you want to get rid of dead weight. That's just, you want to start your, you want to get your youth movement going, get these young guys on top of what they're supposed to do, get them already ahead of the game in this off-season program, especially training camp, joint practices, these preseason games. Okay, this is the only way you're going to get it done. Okay, Miles Sanders, drafting a running back in the second round was a fantastic thing. Didn't think we would ever do it, and we did. And he was a good player for us at times, and there are other times where he wasn't great. And now you have a bona fide 3-down back that could do almost anything. What, Saquon has how many 1,000-yard seasons? 3 of them on a bad team? I mean, Miles, could break 1,000 yards. DeAndre Swift never broke 1,000 yards except when he was with the Eagles. Like, is he going to do it with the Bears? We'll see. No running back has really been successful after leaving Philadelphia. Not a lot of them. Okay, as of recent years, because the Eagles don't put any money into this position, because they treat every running back that they bring in as a plug-in type player. But the philosophy has changed with Howie Roseman, that he brings in Saquon Barkley $12 million a year for this year, next year, and obviously his third year is his option year. If he wants to stay, if the Eagles will pay him some extra money on the option, we'll find out what happens there. So there is a chance to bring him back for that last year if they really want to keep him, if he's doing well and stays healthy, and we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for Will Shipley being treated as, just really these running backs, just getting them into the passing game now. We're going to have check downs. We're going to, there's going to be so many, between the receivers, the tight ends going to get so much attention. You're going to have some clear open field. You're going to have separation between running back and a defender, and making 9 out of 10 times what you have on this roster, they're going to make the first guy miss. And you're going to get some big chunk yards, and you're going to tire out defenses that way. So there's really no excuse. And why adding Miles Sanders is just, at this point, it's just, we had him for a full rookie contract. Okay, I think it's just time to move on. I don't think there's any point. If there's anything legitimate, I swear I'll make a video on it. If there's anything legitimate, but because this report keeps coming up, and I think the Panthers are going to cut him, because they're just like, man, yeah, well, it's just a bad contract. It's a bad contract. Unfortunately, Miles Sanders, if he could stay healthy, great. If he can't, you're not only you're putting Miles Sanders on a team that's just dismantled. The Panthers are just one of the worst teams in the league, and hopefully we'll get better this year. But they signed a running back in free agency on a really bad offense. a quarterback that's barely even played, a new quarterback that's barely even played. Offensive line was a mess when Sanders was there. He was averaging, I think it was like 3.5 yards a carry with the Panthers when he was healthy. And with the Eagles, it was like 5.5, almost 6. That's a big difference. Really shows that offensive line gets that first push. I'm telling you, it's a huge difference. When you talk about offensive lines and what Jeff Stouten has done and Howie Roseman and the work and the collaborative effort that they put into this offensive line, how important it is not just to get, of course, what's sexy is your skilled positions, your receivers, your tight ends, but the offensive line makes a difference for these running backs. Are these running backs, are you getting, with Saquon, you're not getting just a product. We've seen it with the Giants. We've seen it. He's in our division. We've seen what he could do since he was drafted on a bad team that's never built an offensive line for him, that's never treated him with the respect to give him the money that he wants, or not even the money that he's getting, but the guarantees. It's all about the guarantees. And the Giants failed 3 times to give him his guarantees. People say, oh, they offered him $12 million. Yeah, they offered him $12 million, but how much of that is guaranteed? You know that $12 million wasn't guaranteed. $12 million is $12 million at the end of the day. $12 million is a whole package deal with incentives. So I don't want to touch this. I don't want to reminisce on this. I just want this to be done because there's no room for him anymore. It's time for the young guys to get, Kenneth Gainwell, last year of his contract. He's got a contract year. He's going to be playing his heart out in a rotation. Gainwell's a great player. Will Shipley, I want to see more. It's just, we haven't hit training camp yet. You see guys in full pads, see what happens there. So we will see. But I kind of want to, get this thing down and say that it's really time. And Kellen Moore probably has no interest in Miles at all. So that's where we're at. Now, lastly on the list, Kelly Green uniforms. Well, they've already announced 2 games that they're going to be wearing them. Week 9 against the Jaguars. I think it's November 3rd. I think it's Sunday Night Football, if I'm not mistaken, against the Jags. Doug Peterson coming to Philadelphia. And then week 17, I think a 4:25 game against Dallas in Philadelphia. I think those are the 2 dates as of right now going forward. And that's great. That's great. I'm actually shocked they actually put this out pretty early. Now, we've already wore the Kelly Greens last year. They waited and waited for that date, to obviously, as a business, a marketing strategy, a week before the game. Oh, Kelly Greens this week. Buy your Kelly Greens. And obviously they made a lot of money from it. But now since, everyone's got their Kelly Greens now, they announced this really early. It's fantastic. So now we have the Kelly Greens for those 2 games, which are pretty good. So I'm actually really excited. They have not put out any date on now there's a third uniform. Okay. We obviously got the Midnight Greens. Midnight Green, we have obviously Kelly Greens. We have the black on black. Now, the black helmets are available this year, and obviously the black uniforms. So I don't know if they're going to be wearing the green helmets, black uniforms. They were allowed a third, obviously, last year were allowed I don't know if it's this year or last year. Last year allowed a third helmet, alternate, whatever it is. So wondering when they're going to do, I think they're going to wait on the black on black when that's going to happen. I think they'll just be like a week-to-week basis and when they think they really should wear it. So we'll see what happens in the meantime when it comes to the black on blacks. But glad the Kelly Greens are back for another year. I'm hoping these are like permanent for a long time and very excited for it. So, but other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We kind of went over Miles Sanders situation. Let me know what you guys think about that in general and just all the people that kind of been talking about it for a while, which is kind of crazy. I just think it's a waste of time. Let me know what you guys think about the Kelly Greens. And do you guys think that they will, wear these black on blacks, for one of these games going forward. If you guys haven't checked the Philly Shakedown podcast merch, definitely check it out. We have some big surprises coming the next few weeks. A lot is in motion, a lot of talks going on some new designs, and a lot of things are in process getting worked right now. But definitely hit the link in the description below for all the Philly Shakedown podcast merch. We have women's and men's sleeveless t-shirts now, which is great. We have 6XL shirts up to 6XL for bigger sizes, youth t-shirts for youth, and we have a lot going on. So hope you guys enjoy all of that. We're working really hard to get out as much as possible going forward. And I will enjoy my birthday today, and hope everybody is having a fantastic day, and hope everyone enjoys the rest of their weekend. And that's it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. We'll be going over every day of training camp. We'll be streaming the preseason games. We'll be streaming every game of the season. We'll be streaming and doing videos every day all season. If you are new, definitely subscribe and definitely like the video. It does help out the channel out tremendously. And that's it. If you want no walk on eggshells type content, I am here for it. You guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, Fall Slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.